let me welcome you to today's episode. ...650cc bike, 6 positions, The name Hayabusa in Japanese means the peregrine falcon. So that bird that reaches the highest possible speeds when falling down. And this is the bike that it's meant for the highest speed, and everything in connection with this bike, it's just related to speed and performance. This is a 2010 bike. It is the second generation of Hayabusa, and it has 197 horsepower, reaching these horses at 9,800 RPMs, 154 Newton meters at 7,200 RPMs. So this is a very torquey engine, and also powerful. So who needs more? I ask myself, who needs more? So this bike, it is a pure rocket, equipped with the Akrapovic exhaust. So 2 exhausts on this bike, and also it is without DB killers inside. Also the seats are with gel, so GEL inserted to be more comfortable, and it has risers for 4 centimeters to get as much comfort as you can from this bike. And also this screen, it's the Touring one, so it is a Suzuki Touring screen for this Hayabusa, and in this color just looks great. Double disc at the front, 310 millimeters Tokiko 4-piston, and at the rear we have a single disc, as you can see, 216 1-piston, so Tokiko. It's without ABS, it is also without traction control. It is let's say pure old school bike. So here you can see the rev counter till 1300, the speedo till 300, if you consider the fact that this bike can reach 300 kilometers per hour. And here you have just the fuel gauge and the temperature of the engine. So just a car size mirrors, adjustable clutch lever, and also the adjustable front brake lever. It has 3 riding modes, just a normal trip computer with the gear indicator, and this is pretty much all. Chain driven bike. It has 190 50 17 at the rear, and the front tire is 120 70, so also 17. Inverted forks at the front, fully adjustable, and also the rear has all the adjustments. 21-liter fuel tank, and this GV rack. Wet weight of this bike is 266 kilos. Okay guys, here we are on Suzuki Hayabusa 1300. So the riding position on this bike, it's pretty much on your wrists, but I have to tell you that in this case it is not so bad, because this bike has risers. It's not a small bike, but when you sit on it, it is not so big anymore. So this bike feels okay for my height. I am 6'1" or 185 centimeters tall, and my legs are not too cramped, and the seat, it's very comfortable, because this seat, it's GEL seat, and it sounds just great. Because of that, Akrapovic even more. The throttle response, it's very nice. It's not jerky. So if you think that this bike that has 200 horsepower, let's make it 200, it's jerky because of its power, you are completely wrong. This engine, it's very torquey and elastic. I can say it like this. The bike feels very nimble, even though it's 266 kilos wet, and the steering, it's perfect, very well balanced. I have to confirm it. So right now I am in the 5th gear, less than 3000 RPMs, and it just goes really nicely. No hesitation, no vibration, nothing. Just the pure sweet of the 4-cylinder. When you know that the bike, it's really powerful, you have respect from the start, and this is the most important thing. So everything, it's about respect and adrenaline. So this Hayabusa, it's the bike to respect, and it can give you lots of adrenaline, lots, really. It really doesn't matter in which gear you are, it pulls like crazy. So the suspension, it's very nicely made. I think that it is not too stiff, not too soft. It goes like a rocket. Even in 6, you don't have to downshift. It goes, man. This one really goes. And when you need it, you just open it. And it goes into the corners really nicely. The steering angle on this bike, it's from a sport bike, so here you cannot expect miracles. It is well planted on the road, and it's stable really. So don't be afraid to push it a bit from time to time if you have it or if you are gonna buy it, but please use your head. About the consumption, this bike, it's a 1300cc bike, so you cannot expect low consumption on such a bike, and some say 6 liters, some say 7, but I think that if you use this bike moderately, it can be also economical. And the sound is great. Some words about the brakes. So this generation, it's still with the Tokiko brakes, front and rear, and I have to say that after some pushing and after longer use of the brakes, it seems that they just do not provide the right sharpness. Otherwise you have a right feel on the brake, but you should press them really hard if you push the bike. So this is let's say a negative. The feel on the clutch, it's nice, so it engages pretty soon, and this is how it should be, so no hesitation, and I think that it works really nice. If you are shorter than me, so shorter than 185 or 6'1", I think that you will have even better wind protection, but for me it's more than okay. So no buffeting, just the fresh air on my shoulders, but my helmet, it's quiet, so very well made screen, I have to say it. I have to consider that I'm not so young anymore, and I feel a bit of pain on my wrists, but really, sitting, it's perfect. I mean, no pain in my butt, nothing. Very nice. It is a very user-friendly bike if you keep in mind that you should respect it. So about the mirrors, I think that for my size of the body, they should be larger. This is the bike for an experienced rider that would like to ride on weekends or even on shorter trips, maybe also 2 up. The first Pro, it's the engine, and this is wonderful. It's a vibes-free engine. It's powerful like a rocket, I have to admit it. The chassis and the ride, it's the second one. This bike, it's very nimble, and you can ride it almost like a 600cc bike. And the third Pro, it's the sound of this bike. I mean, also the stock sound, I think it's okay, but this 4-cylinder with 2 Okrapovic exhaust mounted just feels like a thunder. Even though it's not a really super sport position, but I would say that this is a kind of a negative. So 1 hour and a half maximum for me on this bike. The second negative, if I have to point out 3 of them, are the brakes that need more power on the lever, and the third cons are the mirrors that I would like to have a bit larger to see clearly what is happening behind. This bike can really provide you the adrenaline rush, but you need one thing more, and this is respect. So respect this bike, guys. Thanks for watching, and do me a favor, please subscribe. Till the next one.